Hello and welcome to another edition of the Pump the Brakes podcast. My name is Eric Evans. I am the host. This is my good buddy Kevin Maloney, a certified golf guru, at least amongst our local group of friends. Today we'll be previewing the 86th edition of the Masters, and we will talk about why this is the greatest tournament on earth, even after what people consider to be the best in March Madness. But this far surpasses it, in my opinion. Baseball is coming up, starts the end of the week. We'll be discussing that as well, what teams had the best offseason, and who we think are going to make the playoffs, win the divisions, and win the title. Kevin, thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you.
So, obviously, this is our favorite weekend of the year, and we're going to discuss, who we think is going to win, who we think is the best value play, and just why this is the best. So I'm going to just tee this up for you and, what makes this event so much more special than basically any other event in the world.
I mean, for one, it's in the same course, same destination every year, designed by one of the greats, Bobby Jones, first major of the year. It's not easy to get tickets, and that green jacket. Those are to name a few, and just the goosebumps you get when it's on TV.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we're all Tiger Woods fans. Tiger being relevant in that tournament, it is must-watch TV. It's incredible.
It changes any sport like no other. What he has impact-wise on the game of golf is not comparable to anybody else in any sport.
No. And these guys on tour can thank Tiger for the amount of money they make, because
absolutely.
He's the one that elevated that to where it is right now.
Yeah. And it's funny because, we all grew up playing sports and, everybody wants to hoist a trophy at the end. And this is, you get a jacket. But the significance and how cool it is just to get a jacket instead of a trophy. Like, everybody on tour would prefer that over any trophy, any amount of money. I would put money on that.
It's funny. If you look back at some of the winners, these guys are wearing the jacket with their family going to the movie theater like 2 weeks later. Like, they don't take it off.
Yeah.
They wear it when they get interviewed in New York City and everywhere. They don't take it off. And why would you? I wouldn't take it off.
No.
I'd rather have it year round.
Absolutely. So I kind of buried the lead. The idea of Tiger Woods playing in this tournament is all but set in stone. And one of the reporters asked him today if they thought that he could win it. And he just responded with, "I do."
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting goosebumps all over again. Like, Tiger Woods giving interviews, he's the greatest in the world. He gets you fired up. He doesn't show much emotion, just his words and the "I do."
Yeah.
I mean, when he tees it up, he's only going to tee it up if he thinks he's going to win. So,
yeah.
Was it 10:34 on Thursday?
I believe so, yeah.
So, he's going to overpower baseball, let's be honest. Yep. For those hour before, hour after, he's going to be all over TV. So, and, I'm a Rays fan. Rays play at 3 o'clock on Friday. He's probably going to be teeing off. I didn't look. Early afternoon on Friday. So, the Rays are going to have to take a back seat. Hopefully he makes the cut, because must-watch weekend TV for sure.
Yeah, so he's 52-1 to win it all, which I think realistically we don't expect him. But what would you consider a successful weekend for him after all of the stuff that he's gone through? Like, just making the cut, I think, would be good enough.
Yeah, like I want to recap what happened here, because a lot of folks might have forgot. So his last tournament he played in was the 2020 Masters, and then he went to get that back kind of cleanup surgery, and he was only supposed to be out a couple months, and then he got in that car accident over on the West Coast in February of 21, fractured his tibia and his fibia, I think. So it took him a while. He did play in that PNC Championship in Orlando with Charlie, his son, in December, but that's a 2-day scramble, flat course. Charlie was playing from like the junior tees, hitting nukes first, and he would just give the thumbs up to his dad to come up. You know, he probably only hit 50 shots, each one of those days. So the fact that he's walking, TV doesn't do Augusta justice. There's so much elevation there. It's a tough walking course. So that was the biggest issue, I think, was him getting cleared to walk that course, because he's been walking at his home course here for a while, getting ready for this. So, but back to what you were going to say, if he makes the cut, I mean, he's played at this event 23 times, only missed the cut one time, and it was as an amateur. So I think they make the cuts, even money. That right now is screaming at me like that's a pretty safe Tiger bet. A little just even money there, and anything after that on weekend is a bonus, right, to get into the top 5. Plus 600, top 10, plus 325. So there's some decent odds for Tiger, but I don't know. I don't want money to ruin my weekend watching Tiger. I just want to be there just to embrace that and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. If making the cut is even money, that's tempting.
Yeah.
For him to finish in the top 10, I think he probably would have needed a little bit more of a warm-up, a lead-up coming into this, play some actual tournaments. Yeah, because like you said, the father-son scramble, like, it was awesome to see him out there. And, I mean, obviously Charlie stole the show.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
But, I mean, you would like to see a ramp-up, not just dive head first in this. But you did mention if he didn't think he had a legitimate shot to win the tournament, he probably wouldn't be in it.
No, and if anyone knows the course, it's him. He can get away with a lot more stuff there on that course. He knows those greens. He knows where you can miss it. So it's all about the first round. Tiger historically is not shot good in that first round. But rounds 2 and 3, he usually grooves, and then he doesn't usually lose it in the last round. He doesn't blow himself up. So It'd be fun to see what happens there on Thursday.
Yeah, I saw a picture on Twitter of his Monday little practice round. There's like 10,000 people following him already. I mean, it's just unbelievable. All right. So obviously we're going to throw some money on this because that's what we do. And I have a couple, value plays. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to start, and then you can come back off me. Obviously, Koepka, no dude gets more fired up for a major than that guy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how he's playing. When the majors are around, he's fired up. And I chose him in one of my pools. I'm not going to talk about him today because I knew you were kind of picking him. I was trying to choose him at the Bibble, but when money's on the line, I'm very comfortable with Koepka anywhere.
Yeah, 20-1. I have somebody else that I'm picking to win it, but Koepka in a major at 21. That's just
silly.
You would think Sunday, final round, back 9, he'll be in the hunt.
Especially here because, let's be honest, there's probably 10 to 15 past champions that have no chance.
Yeah.
You've got amateurs, you've got first-time players, that first-time guys out of the Masters pretty much check them off as not winning. So maybe a legit 40 people that he's going against, so that's not bad.
And he's said that in the past. He's like, in majors, cross these guys off. I'm really competing against like 20 guys.
Exactly.
I fucking love him. I also got Spieth down at 26-1. It just seems like usually in the Masters, mm-hmm. he knows the course very well.
It's crazy. I saw a stat, I can't remember it, but for someone that's only won one Masters in the past 6 years, his scoring is incredible. He should have at least 2 or 3 championships already under his belt. So
again, 26-1. I just feel like for a guy that plays this course very well, that's just good value. You got a couple good value plays?
Yeah, so I look at this a little differently. I can go off a list and roll them off, but I try to eliminate stuff based on statistics and stuff that's happened in the past. So right off the get-go, anyone that's first-timer playing, I'm not choosing you.
Right.
Back-to-back, Matsuyama, I love you, but I'm not choosing you. I think only 4 of the past 20 winners finished in the top 10 the next year, and I think 4 missed the cut. So I've taken my chances elsewhere there. The Masters is not like normal tournaments. I believe 50% of the winners all time were repeat champions, but most of that was in the beginning.
Right.
Since 2000, in the last 11 years, only 2 players have won. Again, Watson in 2014, and then Tiger in 19. So I'm going to not choose anyone that's won. Dustin Johnson, he might bite me in the foot there, but I'm gonna go with my gut there. So the players I'm looking at, I'm going off kind of 4 different statistical categories that I look at. So top 20 in shots gained approach to green. Looking at top 20 strokes gained tee to green, and this is all this year. I want someone that's had a top 5 finish this year, and I want someone that's had a top 5 finish in the Masters already. The reason for that is Augusta is all about who's playing hot at the moment.
Right.
So 5 of the last champions were in the top 5 in shots gained approach to green for the week. So your approaches to the green are such a big deal here. I mean, those greens, those false fronts, false everything. You short side yourself, you're screwed. You're battling instead of putting for birdies. 10 of the last 11 winners had already had a top 5 finish on the tour this year.
In that year.
Okay. Yep. And then I believe you sent something to me. What did you send me?
10 of the last 10. This was also sent to me from Ham. Shout out Ham. 10 of the last tee to green, they were in the top 10 or top 20.
In the last 4 starts, right?
Yeah, let me.
Stroke gain like 18 or something like that.
We go. 10 of the last 10 Master champs had gained at least 18 strokes tee to green in their previous 4 events.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, those are hot players.
Yep.
So I looked at that list, and some of them I have here. So out of those 4 things I said, so there's 4 players that fit the category in the whole field of those things I'm looking at. Will Zalatoris at 33-1, Justin Thomas at 12-1, Cameron Smith at 14-1, John Ram at 12-1. None of them have won. Some have been really close. I know you picked. Did you say your pick yet? We're waiting till the end for that.
I have not said it yet.
All right, so we'll wait there. So I like all those guys. I mean, obviously they're some of the favorites, but they're favorites for a reason.
Well, I got a couple guys I got some money on Zalatoris. What specifically do you like about him here? And I want to. Mainly the odds.
He's an all-around solid player. I mean, last year was his first time playing a tournament. He had 2nd place.
Yeah.
He looked unfazed, which is incredible.
To be unfazed at Augusta is.
Yeah, he just hits all the marks. And I'm worried that he's never won before on tour. Is he going to win his first event at the Masters? I don't know, but 33-1 odds for a guy that didn't seem phased last year, it seems okay. I'd be okay taking him in the top 25, no problem. I didn't pull the odds on that just because I kind of one of those guys that stood out to me. But some of these other guys that stand out, Russell Henley, he's 80-1. This guy comes to this course. He didn't qualify the last couple of years, but the 4 years before that, I believe he was top 25 every single time. So he's a guy I like to bet to finish in the top 40 minus 125. You know, in golf, you're thinking, what kind of bet is that? Because usually we're going after guys who are like 80-1.
Right.
But for something small to do right there. Matt Fitzpatrick, he was on that list, a guy that's hot right now. 50-1 for that guy.
Yeah.
I like the Europeans at Augusta too. So Corey Connors, 50-1. I like this bet, top 20 for him, plus 160. Here's a guy that has some solid finishes, and he's also on that list of a guy that's on fire right now. And then Xander Schauffele, this guy's always in the mix, 25-1, plus 190 to get a top 10 this week. So those are some value bets that I'd like, some guys outside of the bubble. So, and then I've got my pick if you're ready for your pick.
Yeah, so 10 of the last 10 Master champs has gained at least 18 strokes tee to green in their past 4 events. Leading that list is Justin Thomas. And as Ham alluded, like this guy's going to win a Masters event eventually. He's too good not to. And at 12-1, that is who I'm taking. And on my site, I can get him at minus 110 to finish in 14th place or better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably hedge that a little bit. So, you know, a top 15 finish, I think, is almost a lock for Justin Thomas.
I like that a lot.
And then if he ends up winning or is in contention, you know, I should be in the green.
Yeah. No,
unintended.
I like that too. I mean, Justin Thomas is probably my 1B. He hasn't won since the Players of 2021, but he's been close. He's always in contention.
Always, right?
The weather looks good. I think it's going to be a little chilly on Saturday, but other than that, the weather looks perfect. So I like JT this week. But
I mean, hell, he almost won in our backyard.
I know, right? I'm going to go with Cameron Smith. he wasn't on that list of guys that are super hot right now, which is crazy because he just won the Players. Looking to become the first guy since Tiger, I think in 2001, that won the Players and the Masters in the same year. But even if he didn't win the Players, he's 5 for 5, never missed a cut here. 2 top 5 finishes, all around game, everything I like about him. Everything he does. He's an all-around player. He's got that awesome mullet going right now. Family guy. So I think he is definitely a guy that is going to make a run.
Would you say he was 14-1?
Yeah, 14-1. It's not bad.
That's not bad. All right. Well, you heard it here first. To my buddies listening, Zalatoris 33-1. I hope you lose because I hope JT wins, but good luck. We're going to transition into a little bit of baseball talk. As you can see, I'm wearing the greatest sports jersey in the history of sports. And excuse me. I'm just going to lead it off right now. The lockout sucked real bad, but it did make signings pretty exciting as far as when the timeline, because when free agency first started, boom, we popped off.
Yeah.
And what team or what specific signing do you think was the best this offseason, or what team had the best offseason?
For me, it might be a surprise. It's not a player. What's the one team to you that stands out, the team that sucked the most last year that should have been a top 5 team?
A team that sucked?
The team that underachieved, that everyone was just like, wow, what a waste.
I don't know.
Padres.
Oh, yeah.
They hired Bob Melvin.
Yep.
3-time manager of the year. He's got more 90-win seasons and playoff appearances than the whole franchise of the Padres.
Yeah.
So you've got a good rotation. You've got some superstars. Now you've got a guy that can mold them all together, keep them in check, and let's see. Maybe they'll compete with the Dodgers. I don't know. They need Tatis back, but I think it's going to be closer than people think in that division. I mean, I think the Dodgers win the division, but Bob Melvin might be that it factor. He actually has a team that's not just a bunch of misfits put into one. Being with Arizona, Seattle, in his early years in Seattle, he had a couple solid teams, but with Oakland, man, those guys are in and out every year. A new team, like he's got a solid team here, so I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, I obviously the Tatis injury again is gonna hurt, but they got so much talent on that damn team, and now ridiculous. They're in the talks for Jose Ramirez, and they have the ammo to go.
They have the farm system, yeah. And Jose is, I love Jose. Just a quiet MVP candidate.
Yeah, putting him in San Diego. That if they get Jose Ramirez at like the deadline or even before that, I wouldn't be shocked if they were better than the Dodgers. That's how good he is.
Yeah, I mean, if they get him right now, you stack those two teams up. I'm a little worried about the Dodgers staff after 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little question there. Obviously, they're going to hit their way to a lot of wins. Kimbrel in that back end helps a lot.
Yeah, that was good.
He got roughed up the other day in his first outing, but it is what it is.
Well, it's not only like I made this point before. Like, not only Kimbrel in the 9th is good, but now like Trinan, who's really good. Now he's in the 8th instead of everybody goes back, and that is such a huge.
He's got
deal.
some of the nastiest stuff too. Like when they do those pitch tracers.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
Yeah. So my pick, it's going to be an actual team, and I'm not really going out on a limb here, and I don't think this team is going to be very good this year. But if you're a Texas Rangers fan, you have to be excited.
Yeah.
Getting Corey Seager, getting Marcus Semien, even signing John Gray, a little under the radar signing.
I think that's a good signing. Honestly, get out of Colorado, see what happens. You never know.
Right.
With pitchers, yeah.
I don't think they're going to win 85 games. They might not even go 500, but from where they have been recently, to see your team go out and try and get better and spend the money, you have to be really excited about that.
Well, and the thing about they just drafted Jack Leiter.
Yeah.
How exciting is that? You
never
know, he could be one and done in the minors, and then he's in the rotation next year.
No doubt.
So excited. Yeah, I agree with that.
Division winners. You want to start AL or NL?
Whichever order you want to go to.
Well, don't matter. I guess we'll do the we'll start in the National League. We'll start in the West because that's probably the easiest. obviously, you hate to go chalk all the way through here, but I'm taking the Dodgers. Obviously, they were probably already the best team in baseball, and then they signed Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
And I'm not ruling them out getting Trevor Bauer back at some point this year.
It's going to happen. I mean, let's be honest. It's going to happen.
I mean, I hope I don't get canceled, but if Deshaun Watson can get the highest guaranteed contract in the NFL, I assume Trevor Bauer is going to pitch in Major League Baseball again.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't, you know, you got a 1, 2, 3. Walker, I love Walker Buehler. I mean, the guy's nasty, and and then Kershaw, how comfortable is it going to be for him? Just sit in the number 3 spot.
I know.
Go ahead and throw your 160 innings.
No pressure.
Just be ready to go for the postseason.
Yeah.
Just get ready for the postseason. So, and defensively, they were a pretty good defensive team too. A lot of people think that they just hit. They were first in ERA by like a quarter of a run. That's a lot. That's over 162 games. Yeah. That's a lot of runs. So, I agree. Dodgers winning that division.
I think this was my sleeper team last year. I think it's another lock. The Brewers. I'm all in on the Brewers. I love them. They are a healthy Christian Yelich away from potentially going to the World Series.
That's exactly what I said. I said they have the best 1 through 3. Yep. Great bullpen. They were 5th in defensive run save last year, so that's a very under the radar stat. And then I said if Christian Yelich bounces back, they are the best team in NL. I really do. I believe it. And Willie Adames got to get out of the dome. The guy's like a Hall of Fame out of nowhere. So I'm interested to see if he tears it up like he did.
Yeah, after the deadline. He was one of like the 10 best hitters in baseball.
He was insane. He was seeing beach balls.
Yep. And then some people are a little down on them, but I still think the Braves are one of the 5 best teams in baseball.
I agree. They just won the championship without Acuna and their young Soroka. A lot of people might not know who he is. This kid was coming up 2 years ago like he was going to be the next big thing, and he's still 24.
Yeah.
Coming off an Achilles, but shoot, just make it to the postseason. You add him to the rotation. You add Jensen to the bullpen.
Yeah.
I see no issue.
And I'm not going to say there's a huge downgrade, if at all, from Freeman to Olsen.
Well, I'm an Olsen fan. Olsen's a freak. He's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's from Atlanta.
Yep.
He's in his home. He's going to be so comfortable. I'm excited for Braves. I have some friends that are Braves fans. They're fired up. I mean, they just won the World Series, so they're still on high horse. But you got to be excited with what's happening there.
Yeah. Give me your 3 wild cards.
All right. In order, Padres.
Yep.
Like I said, Bob Melvin, 1 through 5. If that team stays healthy, Musgrove, Darvish, Mania, Snell, Clevinger, like if they're all healthy, that's a pretty scary 1 through 5. Good lineup. So I like them to be that first wild card. Number 2, I'm going to go with Phillies.
Come on now.
I love Wheeler, love Nola. They needed to sew up the middle of that lineup, Schwarber and Kessler.
And they did.
They really did. Bryce Harper coming off MVP season. Biggest issue for them, last in the league in defensive run score. Their defense was absolutely horrendous.
And it did not get any better.
So
you could actually argue that their defense is going to be worse this year than it was last year.
So you added some bats there, so maybe it helps them out a little bit. You can score more runs. But I love Wheeler, I love Nola, and then those bats are amazing. And I'm not the biggest Bryce Harper fan, but the guy's on fire. He looks good.
I mean,
he's MVP. I mean, he is who he is. You hate him or you love him, and you love him, and I hate him, but I respect the crap out of him. So there's that. Last wild card. So this one was tough, but not too tough because of what's going on with the Mets. So I did not choose the Mets because DeGrom is banged up already. Tajon Walker, his knee is all messed up today, right? Surgically repaired knee. Couldn't put any weight on it. We're 2 days away from opening day, and he can't put knee on it. So any weight on it. Scherzer, questions already. So I've got that team not making the playoffs. If DeGrom is healthy at the get-go, then maybe. But
that would change everything.
Yeah, going with Cardinals. Last spot. Cardinals are just, to me, like an average team. But what they do is they play good defense, second in runs scored. They had 5 Gold Glovers. First time ever. 5 Gold Glovers.
That's insane.
So they're going to score a little bit of runs. Their pitching is going to be like their starters or whatever.
They need Flaherty to be healthy.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I think they're going to be a team that's going to make a move at some point get another arm, but they're going to play defense. And I'm looking forward to seeing if O'Neal can continue what he's doing, because he had a solid second half. And then Arenado, I want to see a full year in St. Louis, see what that's all about. So,
and it's going to be most likely the last year. Yachty, Pujols, Waino. What a way for them to go out.
Potentially 2 of the 3 are going to Hall of Fame, but all 3 potentially at the same time. But
definitely 2 of the 3. I don't know about Waino.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just a different era now.
It is.
Because he did a little bit of both closing and starting. He's got World Series. Look what he did last year. I mean, holy cow, at his age. So
yeah, it's unbelievable.
We'll see what happens there. You want to bounce into AL?
Well, for my wild cards.
Oh, that's right.
I have the Padres also as the first one in. I also have the Phillies as the second team in. And I wanted to touch the Phillies had 35 blown saves last year, 35, 38. You signed Corey Knebel, you signed Familia, Brad Hand. Not that that's going to give you the best bullpen in the league, but it's definitely better than what they had. You get a healthy Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Yeah.
If they go from, we'll call it 35 blown saves to 25, and 7 of those turn into wins instead of losses, that changes everything.
You might win a division. You might win a division there.
Their number one priority needs to be getting Kevin Kiermaier. That needs to be priority number 1 for the Philadelphia Phillies.
That would be,
even if it costs them Moniak, who's on fire.
I mean,
that dude looks like a big leaguer now.
I would be open to that. Yeah, as a Rays fan. Yeah.
I mean,
when you're hitting the ball the other way with power, as he's not a big guy, he's kind of the body type of us, but he's strong. When he's hitting the ball the other way with power like that means he's locked in. Because
he's grown now.
I went to some minor league games and he just looked off. For number 1 overall pick.
Well, there's some rumors allegedly, when he got drafted out of high school, which I don't blame him. I don't want to say it got to his head, but he partied a little bit, and I guess I'm just assuming didn't take the game as seriously as he should have. But now 23, that dude's locked in.
He probably burned through his signing bonus. Whatever he made, $7 million, $6 million.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's probably gone. So
it happens. I did have the Mets making the playoffs, but obviously all of that comes down to DeGrom. How many innings or how many starts are we getting out of DeGrom and Scherzer? Are we getting 50 combined starts? Because if the answer is yes, then they're making the playoffs.
If they're both healthy for a full year,
they have the third highest odds to win the World Series.
Yeah, that's just
insane.
That's just fan base, Vegas taking advantage of a fan base.
If the Mets get over 50 starts with DeGrom and Scherzer, they'll make the playoffs. If they don't, they're not going to have a chance. That's not saying anything that nobody else would say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But do you know what team had the most wins in baseball last year? 107.
The Giants.
I don't have them making the playoffs.
I'm not making the playoffs either.
I don't think.
And I wrote it on my notes. I said everything.
I didn't think they were good last year, and all they kept doing is winning baseball games every fucking day.
I put everything went right for the Giants.
Everything.
And now you lost Buster Posey.
Lost Gossman.
Which I think losing Posey is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
When you lose a veteran guy like that, the face of your franchise, the guy that won championships, and he's gone. Why do you think that team was so relevant last year? Not relevant. Golly, they were great.
Yeah. So they had the most wins in baseball.
I could still see them winning 90 games, but realistically, I don't see them. I mean, I think they're a 500 team. I just do.
Yeah.
I know they have some good arms, but
I don't see it.
Where
are they getting their runs from?
I know. I mean, they were never a team that scored a lot of runs in the past.
Is Brandon Crawford going to be an MVP candidate again? Who I will say, I'm a loser. I'm late night baseball guy till 1 a.m. I love watching Brandon Crawford play baseball. I love him,
dude. He's the one guy you want on your team.
He's honestly probably one of my top 10 favorite players in baseball.
He plays the game like he's supposed to be played.
He's so smooth at shortstop.
He's a grinder. He's smooth. He's got that flow. I mean, come on, that hair is just incredible. But I agree, man. Giants are just. I can't do it, man. There's too many teams I think that have more power than them.
Yeah, no, I agree.
A lot more people.
All right, we'll go to the AL. We'll come back for the World Series and awards and all that stuff after this.
Yep.
Starting the West again. I'm gonna shock you with this.
They're not.
I'm taking the Angels. They're plus 310 to win the division. You assume a healthy Trout. You assume a healthy Ohtani for now. You assume a healthy Syndergaard, who they got. They finally got some pitching.
Mm-hmm.
At least the fantasy industry thinks Patrick Sandoval is going to be one of the breakout players of the year.
Yep.
Technically, you have Ohtani leading that rotation. If Syndergaard's here 3, I think
he's the king. He's the guy.
10th overall, Reed Detmers, if he steps up.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Trout's going to make the playoffs event. Like, he's going to be in a big-time playoff series eventually, right?
I'll touch on the Angels when I talk about them, but I agree. I feel like it's not fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. He's the best player in baseball. He still is. I mean, I know Ohtani's on his team, but let's be honest. If you're starting a franchise, give me a 25-year-old Mike Trout.
God, yeah.
Like, it's not even close.
No.
So we've just been robbed of all postseason play with him. It was his rookie year that they lost in the first round. He hasn't been back since. Is that what the first or second year?
Something like that.
So it's been a long time. So
yeah. I went pretty much chalk with my picks, but that is I got the Angels winning the division.
Okay. I'm going with the Astros, mainly because their lineup. First in team batting average, first in runs scored. They're going to score. Getting Verlander back to that 2-year deal is huge. He's that veteran presence. Coming off a World Series loss, I just don't see enough for them to not win that division at this point. Maybe halfway during the year, something else will happen. But I've got the Astros going.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're probably right, but
I like the Angels.
I mean, they're that top of that lineup is
Kyle Tucker's batting 6.
He's oh my god,
this guy's a top 10 player in the league. He's batting 6. You know, I love Kyle Tucker.
I want to see 150 games from Yordan Alvarez.
Please,
if he gets 150 games, he might win the MVP.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Tucker too, honestly.
I mean, Michael Brantley is one of my favorite hitters. I think him and Tommy Pham, like top 5 in the league every year of balls. Solid contact.
Yeah.
I feel like Michael Brantley is putting barrels on the ball. Every count, any pitcher, any pitch. It's just insane. So
that dude is just a professional hitter.
Yeah. Love it.
Just like last year, this is going to be the easiest division. The White Sox are going to walk away with this.
Yeah, that's the first thing I said. They're going to beat the crap out of everyone in that division. They might even lead the whole league in wins because of that.
So, funny you saw. I'll come back to that. Probably chalk also. They are the favorites. I'm taking the Blue Jays. I don't know how you don't. I mean, the rotation's not great. They did just sign Robbie Ray, who just won the Cy Young.
I've got them winning the division too.
That lineup is.
I looked at it and I was
stupid. I was trying to talk myself out of it. How can I be different? How can I say the Blue Jays aren't going to win the division? And
the last couple of years, I was like, they're almost there. And they might have got a little worse, but I think they're ready now.
You think they got worse this year?
Maybe just a little worse.
What got worse?
They lost Robbie Ray. I mean, they got Gosman.
They lost Robbie Ray.
Yeah, to Seattle. But they got Gosman. It's kind of a similar switch there. I just think that extra year of them, the young guys, getting a little postseason experience, getting stuff under their belt. I think it's time that they break out, and I've got some. We'll talk about some of those players later on.
Okay. Yes, we will.
Blue Jays, I think they're going to do it.
Yep. Wild card team, first one in.
Well, this is interesting because I was going to do all 3 in the AL East.
Yeah.
And I decided Rays were the first one. All right, they're getting in. Every year we sit here and we go, here's the Rays. What's so impressive about them? I don't know. Top 5 in baseball and pitching, top 5 in defensive runs scored. They were second in runs last year. I know they hit like 240 or 230. It doesn't make any sense. Struck out 6 million times. But when they need a 2-out hit late in the game, they get it. When they need some guy to come off the street, get a 5 5-out save. They get it.
It's unbelievable.
They just shipped away Meadows for
I
minor league prospect. But I love Lowe. Get him up there.
What a horrible trade.
Yeah, it's tough, but I love Josh Lowe, so I'm okay.
Trading Meadows isn't the issue. The return they got for Meadows.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the
Doesn't
Rays
make
just
any
know
sense.
something we don't
Well,
know.
they always do.
I know he just had 100 ribbies, but the guy can't hit lefty to save his life. So maybe they're like, you know what? Let's sell him now. So I'm going with the Rays. I think if it wasn't for Bob Melvin, the biggest thing in the offseason in Major League Baseball was getting Wander Franco for 11 years with like $16 million a year. That is going to go down, if he stays healthy, as one of the most team-friendly deals of all time. And he'll be 31 when that contract is up. I'm sure he'll get his $300 million deal then. So good for him to get that deal.
Who else you got? Keep going.
You want to do all three?
Oh, yeah. Right
Yankees in that second wild card. I know the fans. I have a lot of Yankee fans on Twitter, and they just complain. That bitch complains so much.
Oh, yeah.
But they're used to going out and buying all these people, and it's been a little different as of late. You just got Garrett Cole, so I don't know what the heck they're complaining about last year. But I think getting Rizzo is huge. I think they needed that locker room presence. I think Rizzo is that guy that will call guys out, keep people in check. Good lineup, good pitching. Their defense sucks. Lost them a lot of games last year. So, but no one wants to play the Yankees. I don't care who you are. You don't want to play the Yankees. So I've got them in that. And then the final spot was between the Red Sox and the Angels, and I went with the Angels because I looked at it and I was like, I got the 3 seed, the Blue Jays, and I think that they're the best team in the American League. But the Blue Jays, Rays, Yankees, and rest, they're going to beat the crap out of each other.
Yep.
The winner might only win 88 games in that division. They might win 95. Someone might win 100 like the Rays last year, but you just don't know because all those teams are so competitive. That's why I'm going with the Angels, because I think they'll have a little bit better record than the Red Sox, and I just want to see Mike Trout and Ohtani. In the postseason.
The Angels, literally have the 2 best players in Major League Baseball.
They're the number 1 and number 2 favorites to win the MVP.
Surely they'll make the playoffs this year.
And if Thor's healthy, if Syndergaard is healthy, the guy can be lights out. He's never been healthy though. We've only seen it for like 30 years. What's the most innings he pitched? 120 one year? The guy's electric. So maybe he's that one it factor that can get them over the hump, because if he gets healthy, it's a pretty good rotation that they can serve up.
I agree. I agree. They have to do it eventually.
And they better make a move, because they know, for Mike Trout's sake, you got to get to the postseason.
You can't waste this guy's career.
Rendon's healthy, right?
Yep, he's back.
Okay, so this is the year. If you're close, you go all in. If not, then in 2 years, so be it. But right now, all in.
I agree.
They have to.
I also have the Yankees as the first wild card team. I'm a big believer in players that change teams. They struggle the first year in that new environment, especially when they're acquired at the deadline. Rizzo stunk when he was there. Gallo really stunk. Those are 2 bats that should light up that field.
Yeah, I agree.
If Gallo hit 45 home runs this year, granted he'll probably hit 190, but I wouldn't blink. That short porch, he doesn't need a short porch like that.
No, I was going to say, whenever Texas, when that stadium was not complete yet.
Yeah.
Remember him hitting those dingers? I felt like it was in the 3rd deck.
Dude.
I think he needs to shorten it up. He's complaining about the shift, which drives me crazy. Let the ball get deep. Put it the other side eventually, but at the end of the day, you strike out a lot to be complaining about a shift.
I agree.
But you can't dismiss the power.
I just think those are 2 guys that are going to have big bounce backs in pinstripes, and that's going to make that lineup terrifying. I went with the Red Sox. I hate their rotation. I think it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I told a buddy that last year, and it was terrible. But it got them in. And, assuming a healthy Chris Sale, that makes it a lot better.
How long is he out for?
Of that, We'll see.
I know, because that's why I went with the Angels just above him, because I don't know, even though he wasn't.
I looked
there
at that
last year.
lineup after they added Trevor Story. It's filthy.
Oh, it's nasty. I mean, the Yankees and Red Sox, they're going to score runs.
Their team, they're going to put up some runs. The Phillies' rotation is definitely better than the Red Sox, but I feel like they're just going to try and hit their way into wins.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if the Red Sox won a division and the Blue Jays missed the playoffs, or the Rays won, the Rays missed the playoffs. You can literally flip a coin for that division, which is exciting for us baseball fans, because what do they play each other 20 times each year?
22? 18 to 22.
So many meaningful baseball games. Like, besides the Orioles, there's no pushover games in that division anymore. Usually, 2 or 3 are good. You have 4 playoff quality teams. Someone's not going to get in, or all 4 of them are going to get in. It's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to come down to the Angels, because I don't think anyone else has the firepower. I'm excited to see what the Tigers are going to do, though. They've got some young, exciting players, but they're a couple years away. Twins, I'm not scared of. Royals got some fun, exciting players. Rangers are a couple years away. Mariners, I think, overachieved last year, so I think they're going to take a step back.
Mariners made some moves, man.
I know,
getting Winker, getting Suarez. Julio Rodriguez made the team.
I know. I saw that. That's exciting.
Signed Robbie Ray. They got some arms in the farm system. They're probably a year away, but
they're a year away. I mean, I love Logan Gilbert. I think if he didn't reach his minimum last year, he'd be my rookie of the year in the NL. But he just went over that threshold of losing his rookie status. I think he's in AL. Yeah, sorry.
My last wild card team, and I'll tell you what, I spent like 3 years in the Rays locker room. I don't see it this year. I am Kevin Cash's #1 fan.
Mm-hmm.
I have told him that to his face. I think he should have been the manager of the year like the last 5 years. What he's done with that team, with that talent, is incredible. It's Bob Melvin-esque.
Mm-hmm.
But they're probably going to trade Kiermaier. Like, they're going to need Wander Franco to be Griffey, which there's people that are not ruling out stuff like that. Like, this dude's a freak. But they likely are not going to be second in runs again.
No.
That was extremely abnormal.
Yeah.
Arozarena should bounce back from what he did from their World Series run to what he did last year. Last year was a little bit of a disappointment, although he was fine, but he set the bar way high, which obviously nobody should have expected him to do that, but in the eyes of the public, he underperformed, which you would think he'll be better. But, dude, I don't see it. I don't see it in the rotation. I don't see it in the bullpen. But I will say it's the same damn conversation every year, and every year they win 100 games. I would love to be wrong. I love this team.
I just trust my gut with them. I never doubt him at this point. Every trade, it's like, golly, but then it works out. But I agree, man. There's definitely some what ifs, some question marks. Is McClanahan really going to be that top guy?
Like this year already? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Could he develop into that? But
it's going to be interesting. I like Baz, but he's not healthy right now. Patino, who knows what he's going to be?
If Glasnow was already healthy, he might not even play this year at all.
No, he might never wear a uniform again.
They got everything working against them, in my opinion. So, again, I would love to be wrong about this. I don't think they're making the playoffs, and I have the Astros in that final spot.
There you go. No, that's fair.
You want to do awards first, or you want to do World Series predictions?
Let's go awards. I feel like World Series is definitely going to be a good.
All right, let's do it. We'll go start in the NL again, and in our little pre-show meeting, we kind of both went against the grain, and we picked our MVPs. And without even speaking to each other on this first, we had the exact same 2 names. So I did end up switching one of mine.
Okay.
But I'll let you go ahead with the National League.
I mean, when I look at an MVP, I look at someone that can do everything. I'm talking get on base, hit runners in, hit for a high average, play pretty decent defense, be able to steal some bases. Trey Turner. This guy's a 30-30 candidate. He just hit 330 last year.
He's probably going to hit over 300. He's probably going to lead the league in runs.
The
Probably going to
downfall
lead the
is-
league in steals.
Yeah. He might not get more than 85 ribbies, but he's going to generate a lot more runs.
Oh, yeah.
So all eyes are on everyone else. And here's Trey Turner. It's going to be his first full season, right, in LA.
Yep.
This guy, I think he's going to win the MVP. He deserves it because he is, at the end of the year, he's going to be their offensive all-star. Everyone else can do all that stuff, but that lineup ticks around Trey Turner, and it's not even close.
I agree wholeheartedly, and that is who I also have winning the MVP, Trey Turner. That dude is somehow the most underrated player in baseball. Like, nobody talks about him. He was always outshouted by Juan Soto, who's, that makes sense.
It was Bryce Harper first.
It was Harper,
then Soto.
Scherzer. They had star power. So and now they got Betts, and now they got Kershaw and Buehler and Freeman. I get it, but
that's fine. He's going to win.
Trey Turner is
he's a superstar, and he's 20. He's still in his 20s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I got him at 11.5 to 1 to win it, and
I think that's what it was on my side too.
I love it. I love that.
That is really good. So nice. Going to AL now.
Yeah, we could do MVP.
All right, I got another guy, similar type of player.
Literally the exact same type of
same player. He's in the shadow of someone else on his team, which I believe he is a better player, pure hitter, better defensively. Bo Bichette, 30-30 guy he could be. His average is going to sniff close to 300. He's going to knock in 100 runs.
Him and Trey Turner are literally like the same player.
The same player. Those two guys, I'd rather have Bo Bichette than Vlad Jr. I'm sorry. People are probably like, you're crazy. I'd rather have Bo Bichette on my team because Vlad,
you're taking into account defense stuff also. So
yes.
I get that.
Vlad, it'll hurt to lose him, but if you lose Bo Bichette, man, that's a big deal. So Bo Bichette, he's got great hair too. I love those guys with a nice flow.
So that was also my exact thinking.
Insane. It's insane because I don't think either of them were in the top 4, right? In odds.
No.
They're outside the top 4. So
yeah, it was the Angel guys. Vlad was up there. I don't remember who was 4th, but he wasn't up there. I have the White Sox having the best record in the American League, and I'm taking Luis Robert, 29 to 1. This dude is an absolute freak show. Same thing. Probably won't hit for as high of an average, but he's probably the one player in baseball that is a legitimate 40-40 candidate. Yeah. And I say that as like looking at his statistics and realizing he's only had like 12 steals in his career. But now this guy's like fully healthy. He's got some time in the bigs. I think this is going to be an absolute breakout. And since I had to switch off Bo Bichette, I'm taking Robert.
I have no issue with that. It's all just a waiting game. I just want to see him healthy.
Yeah.
And that's part of the game.
What's going to happen is, like, hopefully best case scenario, he hits 275. But is a guy going to win the MVP if he hits 255? That I don't know. But at 29 to 1, I'll take a chance.
Yeah. No, that's totally fine by me there.
All right. And outside?
So this one was interesting. I'm going with Walker Buehler. And it's tough because usually your Cy Young is someone that's throwing 200 innings and striking out like 260. Mm-hmm. I don't see Walker Buehler being – he might throw 200 innings. He might strike out 220, 215. He's going to lead the league in wins. He's going to eat up innings, and he's going to be that workhorse that they need because after their third pitcher, after Kershaw, they're going to have some bullpen days, I think, and they're going to need someone to tote the rock and go deep in games. And I think he's going to do that, and as a result, he's going to win more games. I think he's a stud, and I'm feeling pretty good about him. So
2 years ago, he only had like 2 starts go over 5 or 6 innings, something crazy. Last year, he only had like 2 starts that were less than that. Completely flipped it. So now I think they let him loose. Let him loose, and
when you have guys like that, there's certain times to trust analytics. You can't go through the third time through the lineup. Then there's times you say you trust your bulldog to get people out, And
Well,
if your best pitcher loses, then so be it.
we could
You
have
lost
a
with your best
conversation
player.
about that.
I
We've
know,
done it
I
100 times.
I know.
But
I don't want to talk about Blake Snell get pulled in Game 6. All right.
Yeah, I agree. And now they didn't need him to be the Bulldog before. They had Bauer, they had Kershaw, they had Scherzer last year. Now they need him.
Now he will.
And that is also my pick for the Cy Young.
That's funny. Yeah, because what is he ranked 3rd or 4th? I don't think he's the
well.
favorite, right?
My book took it off. They took NL Cy Young off because of the Grom stuff.
Okay.
So I went on a different website and I got him at 9.5 to 1 plus 950. That's FanDuel Sportsbook.
Okay.
Their odds were pretty much different across the board compared to what I was looking at, but yeah, I agree. I just think he's on the Dodgers. He's going to win the award. I mean,
yeah, he's going to get the run support.
Yeah.
So,
he'll be
all
fine.
right. Nice. So AL, this one was close too because I like Shane Bieber a lot.
Yep.
But coming off an injury,
on a team that's not very good.
Not very good at all. That's going to lose their star this week potentially, and Jose Ramirez. I'm going Garrett Cole. You did this. I mean,
we literally blindly just went 4 for 4. Had the exact
I
same
know.
picks.
This is the only favorite I did, but that's
how
the
could
one
you
I
not
looked
pick
at.
him?
Yeah.
The pitchers in the American League, when I looked at this list, like Frankie Montas was 4th.
I saw that.
What?
Mania or not Mania?
Yeah, maybe it was
Someone
Like-
else was like top 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what? So
Is the
Garrett
pitching
Cole.
in the American League really that bad?
I just think
Did I
there's
miss
not like
something?
standout superstars, that many of them. So Garrett Cole, he's gonna. I mean,
Robbie Ray's not going back to back. We can assume that, right? Bieber obviously number 2 in the list. Ohtani's probably not going to throw enough innings to win it.
No.
Yeah, dude.
Other than that, who?
It's Garrett Cole.
I mean, I like Giolito, but not more than Cole.
Not more than Garrett Cole.
So yeah.
I picked Giolito last year and bit me in the ass.
Yeah. Well, I think he'll bounce back. I really do. But Cole's just good lineup, good bullpen. Usually doesn't require the defense because he's striking so many people out. So
yeah, no,
I feel out of everything, I feel really comfortable about that.
Yep, me too. I mean, yeah, it's only health. If he's healthy, he should win it.
Yeah.
All right, Rookie of the Year for the National League.
This is same profile as before. I want a guy that's here day one that can steal, hit home runs, do everything, and Witt Jr. I mean, number 1 prospect in baseball.
Oh, that's AL, but that's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No,
yeah, I'm
just
looking
keep
at
going.
AL.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Let it ride.
I don't think it'll be close, honestly. If he stays healthy, he's a 30-30 candidate potentially in his rookie year, which is silly to say.
It's insane.
2020 is probably safer, but the guy's a freak. He's a stud. I mean, what he did in the minor leagues last year was just insane. So I think that one's not close either, unless something else happens, injuries or whatnot. So
see, I actually think this was one of the harder ones.
I thought the NL was a lot harder.
With Witt,
Riley
he's
Green, Torquay. Yeah, I know.
Torkelson.
Adley, I get it. But
and I didn't take any of them.
you didn't take any of those guys?
I took Julio Rodriguez.
Okay. Yeah, he was that one wild card. It's like, what are you going to get? But he
made the opening day roster.
I know.
And let me just say, this fucking lockout, every GM, every owner, whoever's in the front office, everybody that said, oh, this guy's just not ready. You know, we got to give him 2 weeks in the minors. And it'll be, you guys are full of shit since every top prospect made the opening day roster this year. Now that shit is gone. You guys all suck.
Yeah.
It was all manipulation. But yeah, I got Julio.
I could see that.
Plus 650. Probably going to play every day. I mean, not that these other top guys aren't going to play every day now because, you know, you're not calling up Bobby Witt to sit the bench every 3 days.
There's a lot of good young talent.
Dude, baseball's so fun right now.
And there's a lot of young folks coming up too. So,
oh, yeah.
All right. So last one, NL.
Yep.
I went Hunter Green just because he made the rotation. And I wasn't all about him. You know, I watched some film on him. He's got some good stuff. He gets into some rough patches.
But he throws hard.
He throws check.
He throws
4
hard.
If he lines up against number 3 to 5s every start from the opposing team, it's not always going to be that way.
Nope.
But if that's what happens, I know they're going to really watch his innings, so that's what I'm worried about. But if he wins 12 games and pitches
See,
100.
that's why I think it's hard to pick starting pitchers.
Pitchers,
Are they
yes.
just going to get enough innings, enough playing time?
But I know. I was looking at
Because if he only throws 100 innings and I got a hitter playing 140 games, you're probably going to take the hitter. That's why I try and stay away from pitchers. But I mean,
I just don't think
he's disgusting. He's
a
disgusting.
freak. I just want to have something on the side to root for him.
I wonder if you always try and stretch him out to be a starter first, but that could be right-handed Chapman. Same team, throws as hard.
Yeah.
You always try, but a guy that throws that hard, it's hard to throw that hard for 200 innings. Just a thought in the future.
If Verlander's been doing it for
there's always an exception to the rule.
I know, but he's throwing 104.
That's
you know what's funny?
stupid.
If he could just tone it down, you don't have to throw 104.
No.
Throw 98, 99 on the paint with some good secondary stuff. I mean, who's the hitters? I know there's some other guys out there. I'm interested to see. Actually, I kind of know you're going. You're going with a Philly, aren't you?
I am, and again, mainly just because I know he's going to basically play every day, and it's Harper's roomie, Bryson Stott.
Yeah.
He is
He's
hopefully going to be what we wanted Alec Boehm to be.
Mm-hmm.
Who can still have a bounce back year. Year 2 in the league caught up. Now you just got to adjust.
Yeah.
Boy, is he raking.
Dude. His swing, I love watching.
I mean, dude,
he
has roommate with Bryce Harper 3 years in a row, 2 years in a row.
I can see
you got to love that.
What odds did you get on him?
Plus 525.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. I can't even think who is the NL favorite. O'Neal Cruz from the Pirates.
It was, yeah, O'Neal Cruz. I take our 2 guys over him.
Yeah, he's good though. Boy, is he good. Isn't he 6'7" or something stupid?
He's starting down in minors. What's the point? Why are they doing that? I don't know.
Well, the Pirates are going to pirate.
Yeah.
All right, give me a AL champ, NL champ, World Series pick.
All right. Well,
and I'm just going. I don't know if you picked them or wanted to pick them and didn't. It's easy to say that the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. So I'm going to just flat out right now say, yes, I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. For this particular little segment, I'm not picking them just to go, not be so easy.
Yeah, and my pick was Dodgers over Blue Jays,
right.
But I'll let you go because I'm gonna rearrange my thing because I thought about it the whole time.
Nope, that's fine.
The favorites are cool, but I've been having fun mixing things up, and I got something fun here.
So coming out of the American League, I have the Chicago White Sox. I got them also at 11.5 to 1. Again, I just think it's going to be a cakewalk through the regular season, and in theory, they're not going to have to let their horses. They're not going to be in dogfights every day like the AL East. Again, I think they have what could be one of the best lineups in the American League. I know the Blue Jays are loaded, but man, you get Robert, Eloy, Grandal. They're good, man.
They're loaded. They're my 1 seed.
So I have them winning the American League, and buddy, I love the Brewers. I love the Milwaukee Brewers. So if the Dodgers don't make it, I'm on the Brewers. They are the Brewers are 15-50 to win it all. The White Sox are 11-50 to win it all. I haven't made a pick yet. Still up to this point, I don't know who I'd pick. I'm taking the Brewers. The Brewers are going to win the World Series.
That's funny because I was looking at my alternate one, and it's White Sox and Brewers, and I don't know who to do either. The Brewers bullpen and their starting pitching. How can against that?
Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, Freddie Peralta, Josh Hader. That's the best.
Thanks for coming.
That's the best 3 starters and closer in all of baseball.
So remind me. So wild card round, 1 and 2 get a bye. 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. They're best of 3 sets.
3 game series.
And then next is 5, or they go straight to 7 after that.
I believe it's 5, and then I think the only thing that has changed was the wild card is not a 1-game playoff.
Okay. So yeah, the Brewers can go deep because they can just go 3-man rotation.
Woo.
Man, you got me questioning
I
everything
mean,
right now.
buddy, when we're done with this podcast, I'm betting the Brewers to win the World Series. I did, however, a couple weeks ago, I took the Phillies 33-1.
Okay.
Homer bet, but those are some odds there for that team.
Yeah, I mean, my original pick, White Sox, Blue Jays, and AL, and then Blue Jays sneaking over them. But man, oh man, I think that's a coin flip. I just went with the Blue Jays because I feel like it's their time. But you know what I'm going to do? If Dodgers aren't in it, I think the Blue Jays can compete. Their lineup can compete with a lot of these bullpens.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll go Blue Jays over Brewers.
Okay.
If the Dodgers don't exist.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're not picking the Dodgers. Because
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Some of these AL teams, they're really close. I'm just a little worried that the White Sox are gonna they play down to their competition all year, and then when they get into the postseason, they're gonna have to go against some juggernauts. And I'm just a little worried that they'll be able to step up and pitch to those lineups. But we'll see.
We shall see. Well, Kevin, this was fun.
Sure was.
Maybe next time you come on, we can interview you about your college career.
My arm hurts thinking about it.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and go Brewers.